welcome to the Dove Show. I appreciate you guys, man. Check me out.
I caught an L at a young age, stretched out. Gave me 24, homie, I got 5 out. Now on YouTube, trying to get a paper route. Coming till you know the deal, we on some grown shit now.
The primary concern of the Youth Training School is not rehabilitation. The primary concern of the Youth Training School is the safety and welfare of the public. The governor has recently advocated that. He has said that rehabilitation has not necessarily worked. They are here for punishment of the crime.
They are here for punishment of the crime. They are here for punishment of the crime.
What's cracking, everybody? New video. Last night I had a live. I did a live, and Christian made a nice donation. Thank you, Christian. And he asked that I do a story on the California Youth Authority, C.Y.A, right? And so this morning when I got up, I said, you know what, I'm going to do a video today. I'm not going to make him wait. Christian said, can I have one done within a week? And I wanted to do one today for him, right? And for you guys. And, you know, there's a documentary on YouTube. Hopefully, there's a small little portion that I'm going to try to add to the beginning of this video. If you don't see it, it's because YouTube wouldn't allow me to put it on here. But basically, they're talking about YTS, right? Youth Training School. And in the beginning, the guy, I don't know if he's the warden. They don't call them wardens over there because all the California youth authorities were called schools, right? So the warden was called a superintendent. But he says clearly that the purpose of YTS is not rehabilitation, it's punishment. And I want to make sure that people that aren't aware, I want you to realize this. There were dudes as young as 9 years old being sent to the California Youth Authority. You would get kicked out if you had life, or, you know, you could be held if you had enough confinement time to your 25th birthday. Think about that. A dude who's 9, 10, 11, 12 in the same facility as somebody that's 20, 21, 22. Imagine the size difference, the strength difference, the difference up here in maturity and immaturity. You know, while I've said a lot of times, you know, the California Department of Corrections, you don't see rape, at least not with the whites or the Mexicans. You don't see rape, right? It's very, very, very rarely heard of for the blacks. I don't think I've ever heard of the Asians raping their people. California Department of Corrections frowns on that. But in the California Youth Authority, it's the breeding ground for monsters. Like they said, their purpose for not just YTS, but for the California Youth Authority was to punish. So I'll be honest, it was kind of an emotional roller coaster for me. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I plan on watching it. I don't watch TV, and I don't watch movies. But I watched about a good 35, 40 minutes of that documentary. And, you know, I paroled from YTS. Those of you that have been through the Youth Authority know YTS was no joke. They had a lot of guys that would go to, you know, pick up a stabbing when they're 17, 18 years old, get sent to the Department of Corrections, do 2, 3, 4 years there, and then come back to YTS and finish their time, their YA time there, and bring the prison mentality and the prison way of handling beef. So it was a very treacherous place. But imagine, man, going back to what I was saying. Okay, look, before I even go there, I want to make sure that I bring this up. In the documentary, look it up. It's called Tattoo Tears, okay? There's a part, I just finished that part, man, where there's a young man, a young black man, right? I don't know how old he is. You have to be 18 to be in YTS. So he was at least 18, right? And he was at his parole hearing. As I was watching it, I was kind of getting irritated, not with him, but with the board, And I told my lady, I said, I don't know why he let them play him like that, because my mentality was different when I was in YA. But as I listened to this young man talk, it was just like, damn. So if you watch it, you'll see the guy was sentenced to 3 months for a BB gun. He was sentenced to 3 months in the California Youth Authority. And there he was in YTS, one of the most violent youth authority facilities that was ever created, right? And on his 3-year sentence, he was already in 3 years. And when they asked him who he was, what he likes, this and that, his concerns were he had goals for himself to get a college education. And he said he was around a bunch of killers, people that were shooting and gangbanging and all this other violent stuff. And he said, that's not me. And they said, yeah, but you discharged a firearm. And he was like, a BB gun? And that was the way of YA. Like you went in there, you were going to catch time, a lot of it. And you could see the pain in that dude, that he was trying to tell them, like, my dream's being crushed. And for those that say if you do the crime, you got to do the time, it was a BB gun. And he said he didn't even discharge it. And even if he did, it's a BB gun. Should he be housed where there were killers? Where dudes were going to try to physically abuse you and mentally abuse you on a daily basis? Is that what justice is? This is why I'm glad the California Youth Authority is shut down, man. Who knows what became of that man? Hopefully he was able to get out and get his dreams together and chase his goals. But when I said I don't know how he let them let them play him, what I mean is this. Myself, I only went to the board for release once, and that was because I was already going to max out, so they had no choice but to either release me that day or wait 90 more days, and then they got to let me go because my time was up. Every time I went to board before that, it was what they call a DDMS board, which is a disciplinary board, which is they're going to add more time to you, right? And because of how I was and how much I hated authority back then and how I knew they thought they were going to have me in front of them and dictate my program and talk to me any type of way, whenever I would be called for DDMS board, I would get the staff to let me into the laundry room where the old clothes were at. And I would get a jacket and I would rip it. And I would get pants and I would make sure they were big and I would rip like the pocket. Because see, the board wanted me to go in there and have my hair combed, have a nice shirt on, a nice jacket, be looking as sharp as I could to kiss their ass. So I would go in there with ripped up clothes. I would mess my hair up before I went in there. And that was my way of telling them, fuck you. You're not going to talk to me. You're not going to get me to snivel to you. I'm going to do this time. When I look back, I understand that I was an extremely angry man. Not even a man. I was an extremely angry child. 15, 16, 17, 18, right? And again, I'm asking you guys, check out, if you haven't seen that documentary, check it out, Tattooed Tears. Look at the way so when you see those guys dressed in that funny outfit, that's called the TAC team, the tactical team. And they're going in there and because of the way that black inmate, or black, they call them wards, the way he said the word ignorant, they were making fun of him. Blatant racism. Blatant. No cares in the world. They were going into their cells and they were stripping them all butt naked, which is, part of the program, but they're filming it and it's on TV. You had no, in there they were disrespecting another black man and they told him, file a grievance. And I've said this before, because if you listen, he says, I filed a bunch of grievances, they don't help. In the California Youth Authority, most people didn't even know what a grievance was. We were tortured in there by cops. We didn't know anything. We didn't know we had any other option other than to react violently. And that's why there were so many staff assaults. Staff would be assaulted with fists, battery packs, knives, whatever. The California Youth Authority taught you punishment. Punishment was what you were there for, and punishment was what you were going to give out. This is why I say the California Youth Authority is one of the worst human experiments ever. There's other there's other states that still have their version of the Youth Authority, whatever they call them over there. Anybody watching this that has a kid, I promise you, you don't want your kid to end up there. Again, the black man that was in this video, when you watch it, when he was in Tattooed Tears, was sent to the California Youth Authority for a BB gun. And he had already been in 3 years for a BB gun that wasn't even discharged. And you see the frustration in that kid. But when he starts crying, he's telling them what his goals are. He wants to go to college. But because he's in a place where there's violent killers, aggressive individuals, he has to be aggressive. He's not choosing to sit back and get raped, get punked. He's going to defend himself. He's just trying to survive in the ugliest fucking environment there is. So I definitely am going to watch that whole documentary. And maybe if I can, I'll do a reaction to parts of it on my other channel. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. But like I said, it was emotional for me to see that. That's where I paroled from. You know, I remember seeing people get stabbed the hell up in there. I saw staff try to be tough and get beat the hell up. You know, I did my years in the California Youth Authority. And the way I chose, like the majority do, to survive in there through violence, I entered the community. I re-entered the community in 1993, January 5th, 1993, a monster. 5 months later, I killed someone and was fighting the death penalty. So again, man, any state that has these damn youth authority type facilities and your whole goal is punishment, understand that you are placing your communities in more danger. These are kids, man. We got to find out a better way to get these kids to recognize their value, because as soon as they recognize theirs, they'll recognize yours. With that, everybody stay safe, stay smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out.